Hey guys. Got me. It's me. I do want to say thank you for joining. Do give some time for classes start up. I'm a little slow on the instructor startup time, you know, to get the notes together. So bear with me. The string will be starting soon. All right, here we go. All right. Hello, everybody. It's me. I already did that already, so I'm not gonna do it again. Welcome to Button Mashing Academy. This is my own personal series, and I posted it several times in the past. That I will be doing this. So here it is. What is Button Mash Academy? Button Mashing Academy essentially is for me to show everybody the ropes. Whether it is learning combos or just learning how to push the buttons right, just the fundamentals. So you guys can take that skill and be like Gray and use your own ice make magic to create your own style of play. This is going to be a very open class, so if you have questions, you have anything that you want to ask, I will do my best to answer them. Also, this is the basics. I will say absolutely just the basics. There won't be like anything advanced going on. Not this session. This is just getting comfortable with the game. There's so many things that's changed with Zenless over time, and they're minute changes, but they're really cool changes, and some of them are mysterious changes that some people don't know that has come into the game. And there's mechanics that everyone just are unaware of. Well, I would say new players are unaware of. The guide is very, very great in this game. The basic guide. So if you guys are really actually trying to learn the game, like, read the guides. Like, actually, they place a really, really good guide in the game, in the Proxies Handbook. So for all you proxies, do study up, because it's very, very important for you guys to like learn this game down to its basic level, so you can become advanced players. I am not on the top of the bracket. I'm not. I'm gonna stay humbly at the mid-range to bottom, and I love this spot because I have a lot to offer in the area of the community when it comes down to just, you know, getting better at this game. So without further ado, I'm not going to continue ranting on. Let's get into this, yeah? Bang, bang, nose! That is my favorite one. I don't know why, that's my favorite commercial. I do apologize for any of the frame lag or any of the stream lag. I do apologize. A lot going on, trying to figure it out, and we currently have like a storm coming through, so it's kind of getting a little stormy. It's cloudy, so you know how energy works. I like to mess up your internet signal. ISP don't like that. All right. Let's see. All right. So I'm pretty sure you guys gonna wonder like what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna show you guys how to play. If you're new to this, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. If you're not new to this, you're advanced and you already know what you're doing. Still welcome. 100% welcome. Hold on. Welcome. 1000% welcome, because all you advanced and veteran players, you guys know exactly what you're doing. But it's also good to like sometimes get a refresher course. So if I have something that may give you like kind of like, oh, I forgot about that, you know, wonderful. If not, just enjoy and sit back. Enjoy the stream and throw any questions you got. Actually, let's see. Let's see. Just realized this actually doesn't have my chat up. Meet don't have no chat. So in the meantime, I'm gonna have to like see this from the outside. Alright, so let's see. Alright, I actually kind of already like started a little bit of a kind of like a team. Maybe a team? Something to give you something? Let's see. Hope you guys like the little decals on the side. I have a little something I was gonna have up there for you guys. And you'll be able to see some visual effects. Alright. I'm not gonna go straight into any like tough battles or anything. We're just gonna go straight into free training.
Don't frighten me like that. Ready for combat.
Shh. Her squeals frighten me. They're so abrupt. You ever jump scared a rabbit? Their jump scare jumps you. Like, it jump scares you. When you see a rabbit jump scare, their jump scares are so strong, it jump scares you. Like, you didn't expect them to jump that hard. That's Alice to me.
Need something? My services are
Let me see. Let's just go with this. Let's go with the duos. We're just gonna do these two.
Time to make some money.
Alright, let's get it. Enable. And for now. Alright. That is good, yeah? Alright. If you guys are also wondering how long have I been playing this, if my knowledge may be questionable? Not yet, baby. I have been playing this game since day one. I'm not gonna say I'm the most knowledgeable, but I have knowledge and I'm willing to share it. So let's jump into the basics. This is Button Mashing Academy. Button Mashing Academy, I want to focus on literally just the aspect of just button mashing. And what I mean by button mashing, there's a characteristic that is often portrayed in any action game or fighting games. In fighting games, like, you know, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, you know, any of those sorts, you know, Guilty Gear, you're gonna get a term that you want to avoid, and it's button mashing. Unless you're mashing out of something to save your own life, sometimes that it works. But this game, there is a point of button mashing. If you can hear that sound,
it's up to you.
that is a thing. Button mashing commonly refers to, for me, I commonly refer it to, let me put on the buttons for you guys. It is constantly smashing a button aimlessly and hoping to get your turn out to do what you want to get your point across of the attack. This usually causes you to go into default combos or auto combos. I will say auto combos is something that's generated, as long as you're pushing this button, this combo will come out. These are usually the basic things that you would do. If you guys are wondering about my button layout too, I do play with a traditional arcade stick. Yes, actual arcade stick. You all know if you guys have heard of leverless sticks or leverless pads. I play with an arcade stick. If you go to an arcade, you see the little stick and then like the 6 to 8 buttons on the side that you will use. Yes, I am actually using that. So if you guys are looking at this layout to the left, there is a button setup that I have personally for myself to be able to, you know, execute these combos or any of my moves, or just, you know, as I play. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I got something for you guys too. I forgot to do this one little magic thing, eh? I really worked my butt off for this. Let me see. Our little visualizer is keyed. Let's key it to music. You see that? Look at that. Look at that to the side. Look at that to the side. You guys gotta see that. You see that to there? You see that right over here? You see that thing? This thing. Ah. I love this. Alright, oh, I'm sorry. Really worked hard for it. Alright. Enough of that. So, what do I mean by this? Pressing buttons is not bad, but understanding that this game will punish you for just mashing. Eventually, it will start punishing you severely. One of the greater tips that I was looking at is hit your opponent and wait to see what they will do when they respond. These lower level enemies have stagger. You see that little push, you will get that ability to control them with that. But certain mechanics makes it to where they ignore that flinch and they get to hit you back during that time you're attacking them. So this is not always good to just all day. I'm sorry, it's not that game. Eventually it just does not become that game. So learning your combos is very important. Why am I playing Ambi too? Because that was actually a question I was asked before the stream. Ambi is like literally the starter of starters. She's a first stunner, and she is usually not known to what she can do. Mashing with her gives you this combo. My first introduction, I could say, there's going to be a thing I'm going to say a lot in my terminologies of doing these combos. I'm going to call Baxix Bs. You have B1, B2, B3. You have different ones. Now, certain things with her initiate her special abilities with certain types of combos. Her B3 tapping the basic attack 3 times. Of course, I have to tap a little bit more. The animation buffer is a little bit longer, so you kind of have to give it a little bit of an extra. Get used to it. Get used to button mashing a little bit excessively for your buffers, but try to contain it. That is her thunder. So to be able to do this move, you really have to learn that there is a sequence to it. If you can see, my buttons is and I hold. This gives her a special buff. I'm not going to go into the mechanics of the stats. I just want you guys to understand that there's mechanics. When this happens, you get follow-up combos that allow you to do more with her. Which follows up. Now, there's another thing to this. Watch this. When you get these little EXs, there's these things called EX. This is a special move. These can be canceled. You can cancel these moves. Matter of fact, let's not give them the stun. Let's go. We're going to do all this stuff. Alright. So, what this is essentially, you can do some cool cancels. EXs allow you to cancel your action in the middle of your combo. So if you're mashing this, sometimes you don't get it, but in certain sequences, you can combo into it. So, what I mean is that it's not instant. It's not instant. Don't think it's instant. Some characters do get instant, but some don't. And you gotta respect that. That led into the B5. I will say B5. Did lead into her Thunder, which usually is just her B3. So not sure if you know this, but it's a thing. Every character has special little EXs that changes up their combo orientation. I'm not going to go into all those yet. Eventually I will be, but this is once again just the basics, so just know this. This is her moves. And you can get extenders. That will help you out. That will add on to it. Now, why know this? Why should you know this? You probably can live without it, honestly. Because at the end of the day, this is a game that you could just have fun doing this. Until the enemy starts beating up on you. But you guys want to learn how to play the game, or just learn the buttons and learning what the characters can do and why they're set apart from each other and what they can bring into the table on their own individual flavor. So for her, this combo is this that variation, and then that variation. They do actually change the mechanics on how much the stun goes off, which means you're going to make an enemy go into a daze state. Or you're using this to add on daze. The daze brings up that bottom meter and it allows you to stun them. Stunning them puts them into a vulnerable state where you could just beat up on them like it's Persona. I'm gonna have to put that reference in there at some point. But that's exactly what it is. It allows you to get free hits in with double to triple, quadruple damage depending on how you have your builds. And I'm pretty sure you all know how to do that. So learn this. Because once you do and you become a master of learning this basic, it becomes much more simple. So buttons. Forgot, I gotta give you guys some buttons. So you have those. I ain't gonna lie, with Ambi, a lot of the time she ends up stunning off of that. Just that combo. She's pretty good. Very underestimated. Still to this day. I don't know why. But
neutralize.
you get a lot of stuff coming out of it. Now, I want you guys to also remember, control your buttons. In a panic situation, button mashing just comes out automatically. It really does. This will start happening in the middle of the battle when you're getting hit, and when it happens, it's just like fight or flight. You get hit and you forget the whole strategy, and that's gonna happen. But just remember, there is a mechanic that helps you avoid getting hit, and that's your dodge. You only get 2 of these per, let me see, yeah, per second. And it'll just, as you can see that button, as you can see the dodge button on the side, it does have a cooldown. And this cooldown can leave you exposed if you are button mashing this thing. Be careful of doing this. There is a system that I can help you get around that. And this is what I call dodge rolls. Now, dodge rolling will allow you to be able to kind of incorporating dodge, like your dash attacks, and it gives you a little bit of a buffer, so that timer is not a punisher for you. But how do you gauge it? How do you see it? How do you know it works? How do you know what works with dodging? How long does dodge work? Dodging gives you something called invulnerable frames. When you're invulnerable, it means you can't get hit. There's no touching you. EX gives you invulnerability. Ultimate gives you invulnerability. These all give you invulnerable iframes. That's all iframes is. Invulnerable frames. This is a term that is brought up a lot in any action game or fighting game. Is iframe. Learning what works in the area of what you can do with a move that gives you the ability to become invincible for just a small amount of time. It's not a long time, but it's good enough to where someone swings at you and you execute it just enough. You're gonna live through it. You're gonna punish them for it, and punishing is a good thing in this game. Something swings at you, punish them. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Hold on. Let me see. Actually, sorry. That's not stun. We don't need that. What is that? You gonna hit me, buddy? I beat up on him too much. He's scared. That. Learning this is really important. Learn it. Practice it. As you can see, there's a sequence between enemy attacks that gives you time to dodge. You can dodge any direction. You do not have to just back dodge. Dodging does give you a better spacing for you to be able to gauge what kind of attack or counter you're going to use. But if you are playing certain characters, it is important to try to get behind them too. Like Nekomata. Nekomata loves to be behind her enemy, which does her most of the damage. You can back attack an enemy. So controlling your movements is important. Controlling your dodge is important. It's important. Now, for me, I do this a lot. There's a thing where you can dodge and get this buffer that helps you with consistent dodge rolling. And this is for bosses that like to punch a lot. Like a lot. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Oh wow, off the bat. So, you get that. Pushing it too much, right?
Keep the pace.
What just happened? What just happened? What did I just do? What did I just do? So what does it mean to dodge roll? Dodge rolling is going to give you the benefit of being able to dodge consistently. And when I say consistently, back to back. Whoops. Did I just slow the beat down? My fault, y'all. I just took it to the slow-mo. Alright. So. Now, the difference of being able to dodge roll and attack back helps you get that spacing so you don't get punished for dodging and countering, which is just dodge counter. So you guys are going to see this boss a lot. He does this a lot. And usually people try to attack and do this a lot, and they get hit for all those hits. Learn to dodge roll. Why? Because it's going to space you out. You will not be off cooldown on your dodge, and you're going to hit them for every little hit. You're going to punish them every little spot.
You did well.
It's important to know this because this is Andy's strongest that right here. It's this dodge counter. It's fast. It's really fast, but the only part that a lot of people don't like is that it is fast. It leaves her open, and no one likes that because if you do it too,
You're looking good.
and you're spamming it, you gotta I only hope that you're gonna get it, but sometimes it just starts to leave you in exposed areas. Learning to control this will help you tremendously. It helped me. Knowing that you can also get that little second dodge will help you as well. So you avoid that. So if you really want to actually start getting better with like not getting hit, and you have not trusted the parry system yet, gauge that. Gauge the dodge roll time. Now, I'm going to show you guys exactly what that means to actually really see that movement. Dodging gives you the whole animation before the character stops. They're invincible the whole time. So as long as they're dodging, they're moving, they can't be hit during that moment. But the moment their feet stops, as you can see, Ambi hits a kind of a like she catches herself. That's where she can get hit. So you have all that space, all that to go back. Billy actually has a mechanic where he has an infinite dodge, because he can not only dodge twice, but he has an ability to also dodge and use his guns to fire in an alternate direction. And at the same time, it gives him the ability to use dodge with his attack. It's kind of crazy. He attacks and dodges at the same time. It's a really cool move, but it's a very specific timing. I would show you guys that, but I haven't yet to master it myself. But it is a mechanic that is in there. If you guys are Billy users, there's going to be a point where I'm actually going to try to like do my best on learning Billy, and so I can teach you guys how that works, and you guys can start really getting used to it. But since it's the basics, not the advanced class, just get used to dodging. This is going to save you so many times, because there's bosses who are going to punch the I don't know what out of you. You do not know how to gauge this. So learning your dash attacks. This is a dash attack. This is dashing, and this is a dash attack. This is a mechanic that actually adds in its own mechanic. It starts you off on a combo, and it gets you in. Every character has it. A lot of them have it. All of them have it. But why is it important to really know this stuff? This is just a button mashy game where all you have to do is this. Because that doesn't work all the way through, and we all know it. We all get to a certain boss like this one and start getting punched up in the face and losing half our health because we're doing that and not respecting this. Because it's not always your turn. There's a turn. Knowing when it's your turn and knowing when it's your enemy's turn. And when they're having the advantage, you have to know when to gauge that. How do you see that? How do you know when it's your turn? And how do you know it's their turn? Well, in this game, they have something where there's an indicator. It's an orange light or it's a red light. Red light means you cannot parry it. I'll get in that for at some point. Right after this, actually, I will get into that. But dodging will help you get past the first part. It will get you past orange attacks and red attacks. Doing this in sequence at the right time will definitely save you every time. Now, there is some moves that enemies will do that lingers even though you did the dodge and you did a perfect dodge. So you have to remember those moves will linger, and if you do a perfect dodge, you can still get hit and tagged. And guess what? You're getting hit and now it's their turn. And unfortunately, you're put in an unsettled position and you got to figure out how to get out of it. That's when people start button mashing and trying to get out of it. Which means I'm smashing every button on the pad to try to get out of this moment. Don't panic. You just got punished. That's okay. Just know how to get out of it.
Long empty scenes like this one are uncomfortable.
Oh, jeez, Andy. Tell me how you really feel. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys what this means in these areas of these indicators. And when I say indicator, orange light. Orange light. Now, the thing about this indicator is, oh man, these buttons. I gotta figure this out. I will get this mastered. But you have to know that that is a thing. Once you do see an orange indicator, you can't do anything. You really can't do anything but block or parry. Don't continue to attack, because you're gonna get punched in the face. But you can only parry through the circumstance of that first one. You miss it and send in your tag mate, they're gonna come in and get hit. Let me show you what that looks like. See that? That was so brief. It was quick. But did you see that? That is something also a lot of new players do. A lot of you guys probably have that. It's something that just happens. Why does it happen? Why? Well, the devs just made it that way. If you're not catching the first initiation of the enemy's attack, you only have two options. Either you dodge or you get hit. So in this sense, if you are missing your orange glows at the first time, as soon as you see it and you decide to dodge it and you don't dodge counter, that means you're only going to be up for one thing, to get hit. And if you send in a teammate to come in for you, they're going to get hit. And hopefully they're not on their last pixel of health, because that you just sent them to their death. And there's nothing you can do. And on top of that, your other character will come in and they will be raw tagged in as well. And unfortunately, they get no chance either. But there is a little thing to where you do get hit, and it will allow you to tag in your teammate. It does save you for a moment. It saves you for a moment. And when I say save you for a moment, it's just gonna give you this, what? The flow. You got hit, now I wanna come back in and do something. And attack. I didn't want to lose my combo flow. I got hit, but I want to keep going. This will help you get back into the motion, but you gotta remember, now your whole team just got swapped. Now you gotta start the combo from that character and make things work. Which means now you got to pay attention. Is this enemy still attacking me? And do I have enough time to either dodge counter, or are they going to throw up another orange? And if they throw up a red, it's going to trick you. By dodging a lot as well, let's actually show you guys this one. Do take notes, and also if you have to, scroll the video as well. I wanted to make sure that this is also something you can actually come back and refer to if you need to. There is assist points. These things are not unlimited. Energy is not unlimited, and these are not unlimited. This is unrealistic. But now, doing your dodge counters at the right time is important. Watching your enemies, important. Is catching those orange. But you get unlimited of this. But there's something that you don't get unlimited of. Is that. It's so pleasing to the ears. It's so pleasing to execute. It's fun to do. But unfortunately, it's not unlimited. As you can see right on the bottom right, that gauge is now gone. There's a yellow gauge that's down there, and those are assist points. Your assist points will run out. And once they run out, that enemy will now start throwing out reds, which means unblockable or unparried. You can't parry it. So now you're in a situation. I can't tag my teammate in to parry for me. What do I do? Now you gotta start tapping. Now you gotta start fighting the character now, because you have no more assist points. How do you get them back? By getting your style pretty much in here, getting your combos in there. I believe you get 1 assist point just for, I believe, a chain. No, I think you get 2 for a chain attack for stunning them. Let me see. Let's go in here. Let me see. Dodge counters, dodge and parrying. Character runs into a period of time and dodges forward. Let me see. No, that's dodging bullets. Let me see. Did I pass it? Did I pass it? Did I pass it? Let me see. Trying to find it here for you guys. Decibels and ultimates. Yep. Also, knowing that you're taking damage as well is a pretty scary thing too, because when enemies have a certain combo sequence, sometimes you cannot dodge out of it, no matter how hard or how fast you're pushing that dodge button to get out of it. That enemy is going to finish their combo and they're going to whoop up on you. This happens actually in Deadly Assault, which is one of the higher end parts of the content, but this is further. But it is a thing. It's just like getting beat up in a fighting game. Here we go. This is your biggest tip right here. Certain enemy attacks have a flashing prompt. When the flashing prompt is gold, press the switch button to the next agent to launch a perfect assist. So perfect assist, or some other characters don't have a parry because they don't have any character that has a weapon that can block, like say for instance like a sword or maybe like a gauntlets or so. They can do a parry, but some characters like Billy don't block with their weapon. They do something is just a perfect, like kind of like a dodge. It's called an evasive assist. This is a different thing that comes into the same system, so you don't really get that all the time with every character. So you have to know your character and know how it works. Astra, she has evasive assist. Rena, evasive assist. Now this takes 1 point. You can get these points back through certain conditions. I just can't remember exactly all of them. See, I'm not perfect. So how do you get it back sometimes? Let me see. Actually, I did turn on his stun, did I? Yeah, he's stunnable. Alright, so
It's up to you.
no, it didn't come back. Let me see.
Eliminating.
It will bring you back. Okay, ultimates bring you back 1 point. Alright, let's see. Might as well do it like a little good evaluation, eh? Oh, yep, there it is. Chain attacks. Chain attacks, each time you chain in a new character or your teammate, you tag them in like that, it gives you back your point. Now, there is situations you're gonna have to learn how to like balance that, especially if you are one who loves to parry. Just remember, there is a limit. So you gotta learn your limit and learning a good combo flow that gives you that balance. For me, there's a point where I got to, that's not a thing because that's not my 100% rely on source.
Right back at ya. me give you a little
Oh.
treat.
Whiff. And that can't happen. So learning your parries alongside with your dodge counters is a very important thing. I say it's important because ultimately when you're coming down to, just like Kayase, you just said, especially in newer content, these bosses are showing zero mercy. Yes, they are not showing no mercy. I kid you not. Especially with the miasma system. The miasma system has changed the game. If you're new, you probably won't see it early game, but when you start getting late game and you actually start getting to the storyline with Yishuan, no, not you're gonna spoil anything, you're gonna deal with something called miasma, and it sucks. It changes the game up. It makes enemies where they're just like, I don't care what you throw at me. I'm not staggering. I'm not gonna flinch. I'm going to keep swinging at you all day, and there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it is actually doing certain initiating certain moves that brings down that miasma. You have to get rid of it so you can get them back into a normal state to where you can control the fight. Once again, that's advanced stuff. We're not here for that. Not today. So what am I going to at least give you on that area? Let's see. We're just gonna learn this dodge. We're gonna learn this parry. What is a good balance between the two? Well, let's see. Let me see if I can give that example through a little bit of a fight against this guy with these two characters, and you'll see what I mean with this. Let's put it what we got into. Start chunking yourself down, yeah? You gonna pay for that.
This won't hurt. Not anything. I'm here. Get away from me!
Alright. Those characters are not built for that. This is when you'll have a third character who's an attack type will start coming in and doing some crazy damage. But this is basics. Oh, let me see if I can actually. I'm not sure if the buttons was displayed at that time. No, it wasn't. Alright, so don't even know what I just did. Alright, let's see. Let me get this skin.
Neutralize. Behave now.
Chain attacks. So that was a lot. What did I just do? What did I just do? Well, what did I do? All I did, dodge counter, dodge counter, dodge counter, and build up that stun bar. The stun bar is the yellow bar that's under the green health of the enemy. Pay attention to it, watch it. Also, if you are trying to maintain anything in this game, learning to maintain your resources is important. There are some things that I actually took some notes on too. Managing your health, managing your HP, you're only going to do that by being able to take your eyes off the battle and look up to see that gauge. It is important. Get used to doing that, because when you're just doing combos and you're trying to maintain the flow, you can do this in loop. There is a loop where you could just constantly just be able to attack efficiently, even mixing parries, dodge, and all that stuff in. But you have to be able to watch your resources. Watching your resources is this. You see that gauge at the top. You see the health. she's pretty much dead. She on a pixel, but you can see the energy gauge. Know how much your characters are going to use when they are initiating their EX. So if you're using your EX, it's going to take a certain amount. Now you have nothing to throw at them that's strong. You can't get you there. You have nothing to kind of mash out so you can, be invulnerable, so you can get out whatever situation you're in. Now you're just fully exposed. So now you only have this as your friend and your parrying if you have your assist points up. So now you have to build this gauge up. Watch that gauge. When you know you have the advantage and you're able to get your combo out, take a quick second to glance at that gauge and make sure that you have enough points so you can get your combos out. Now, sometimes you're not going to be able to pay attention to all these easily. Trust me, it's not easy. It came with time for me. Over time, I eventually caught this. But as a beginner, it's going to be very difficult to kind of like really take your eyes off the enemy, because you're really just trying to learn what the enemy is going to do, how I'm going to react, and that's understandable. But as you continue on in your time playing this game, realize you got to keep your eyes on that top left corner. Watch your party and see what they have, because as you attack with one character, it also builds up the other character's abilities, which means Nicole is feeding her EX from Ambi attacking. They get this little off-field advantage. Some characters have energy regen.
This won't hurt. Not.
As you can see, she's there. You've seen her gauge pop up on the top left. Now she has her energy, she can come back in and do this again. Now they're both out of resources. Now you're faced in a situation you have to keep managing this. Learning to balance that is very key. And when it comes down to it, if you're beginning, start learning it now. Because when you get to the later run, it will help you tremendously. And you won't be stuck in a situation where you having to mash every button to sort, at least getting out of a situation, or you can build whatever, or waiting for whatever resources to build. There is an energy regen system, but it's only for certain characters that have certain mechanics in there that's built for them, or for those who have disk drive setups, and that is the system itself. Once again, basics. We're only going to learn how to just really understand the buttons. So when it comes down to this ultimate, that could be built up off of pretty much just like a style point system. Now, let's see. You gotta go back to the guy, yeah? Decibels and ultimates. Characters' decibels are displayed on the left side of the screen, which is this big old number that you can see growing as you will see it change. This is like your ultimate in a video game, like knowing they can do like, their special ultimate move that like just does mad damage. These are with every character. Every character has now, in this current version of Zenless, every single character has their own individual super meter. So you can build up their gauges individually, and you can save them too. So you can use one character's decibel ultimate and it won't take from another character. It used to be like that. Now it's where you can build up individually, and you can get these really, really, really cool combos going off of them. So know that they build up in three fashions. You have 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. In certain game modes, and you're able to use your ultimate off of just like probably around like 1,000 or 2,000, and then there's some there's these special things that give you the ability to go past 3,000. So that's more advanced stuff. Once again, more stuff, but this is the basics. So, in sense of it, being able to watch your gauge is being able to watch that little icon as soon as you see that thing go off. But how do you know when another character has their ultimate? That comes from you just paying attention to the top left corner. When you see another character's gauge, as you can see, Ambi's is up. Let's see if we can build hers. Let me see if it actually... I do want to have that curious little bug in my head. Yep, it does. So, certain moves from another character in assisting them will build up their meter. Let me see if it actually does it by itself. Yeah, 2110, eh?
Roger.
Still 2110. So you get this little cool thing that you can do. Their attacks become your points. When you're doing all these quick swaps and assists in the game, it really does help you out with that character that you're building up. So Nicole usually sometimes gives all these extras really fast. What's that mean? Let's see. Alright. Little cool move. That built up fast, didn't it? This is something that helps you chain in. Now, how is this important with just the basics? It's because really managing your resources is a big thing. I was actually really trying to understand what is like something you should know as a starter. Resources and managing your resources is very key in this game, and it's something that you really need to learn from the beginning and understand how many different mechanics help you manage it. As you go through the time, you'll start being able to really see what's contributing, but learning to be able to pay attention to just that top left screen and knowing somebody's gauge is going up while you're doing something in the background. There's other certain conditions that will help other characters get their ultimate even though they're not on the field. These things will change as you continue to get to certain pieces of content that will help build that. So I covered you on a little bit of the buttons, right? Like Ambi's combo. How do you do that? So going back, we got basics, basic attack strength. Like your B, saying like scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's B5. B1, B2, B3, B4. B5.
Time to act. I'm here.
Nicole, same thing. Everybody has basic attack strings. She's a lot slower, so buffering your buttons, which means I'm pushing a button twice to make sure I can get out, so it becomes like a button mashing moment. So that is, in a sense, you kind of have to pay attention to that too, because you can get hit while spamming. So which means you got to pay attention to dodging while you're doing that, not just focusing on this button. Try to push this button, but also knowing when to, I need to back out because I know they're about to swing on me. Pay attention to that. It's very key. And what does that look like? It looks like that. How do you get your attacks in? That's what it looks like. Dodging allows you to cancel these moves at a certain time of your combo. but it's not immediate.
You got game.
So do pay attention. Pay very close attention to your character and knowing when they have the ability to do this, to back out while they're getting swung on. So you can give yourself a good spacing to dodge and dodge counter. Never leave yourself exposed.
Right back at ya.
Now, I am gonna say something because, yeah, and you're probably like, oh, when I'm getting attacked, I get attacked by like 20 enemies, and how can I pay attention to all of them? Well, there is something to pay attention to them. There is a thing that actually gives you the sound, the audio. You can hear when they're attacking you from whatever distance. Listen to that ting. That ting is very important to hear.
These beautiful hands. They're clearly only suitable for high reward, low risk work.
She kills me. Now, being able to hear that sound is very important too, because there is a time you'll be focused on this boss, but there'll be an enemy like way over here, either throwing something at you, or you can just hear it go off, and then the next thing you know, they zoom in and smack you from way over beyond, and then you're like, ah, geez. And now this guy got advantage, and he's gonna start beating you up. Paying attention to that sound is very important. If you don't know what that is, like what that sound is, if it's a red indicator or an orange indicator and you're not sure, if in doubt, dodge out. Because if you time that right, you will be able to. There is another thing that will happen. If it's a red attack, your character themselves will speak up for you and will say, get ready to move, or dodge, or get out of here. Whatever it may be, they will tell you that you're about to get hit from behind, from the side, or from an area you can't see. So listen up. They are trying to help you. That sound, get used to hearing that sound, because that can happen. You run too far from your enemies, they will do that. So knowing that you hear that sound, you have within a second to dodge. So what does that look like? On the buttons, as you can see my clear indicator. It's very fast, and it can be missed. But just know that if you run from enemies, they will chase you down. And they almost, all of them have a move that will get them in really fast. And they will punish you. And they have moves to fight you as well when you're in. I picked this boss because of the factor that this boss kind of, or this medium-sized boss, kind of has all those elements. They will attack you from behind, from a very long distance. They will run straight up on you and punch your lights out from a distance. And then they will square up and just punch until you get the point. And knowing I gotta just start either dodge countering this, or I got to parry it. Parrying, you gotta make sure that you know the boss, or know your enemy, know thy enemy, because it's really important to know that if they're doing a whole bunch of moves and they're all red, guess what? Now you're having a dodge counter fest. Now if they're throwing out a whole bunch of orange, which is one of the guys is my favorite. Leave it. Is it one in Enforcer? Oh my god, I'm getting them right off the bat. Yes, I know my enemies. This guy loves to punch.
Move it.
He loves to punch. This guy, I'm sure all of you ran into him several times. And he still shows up a lot. Let me see. It's honestly good to play with at least the sound effects volume up so that you can hear the indicators again from experience. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's A1. Bye. Bye, guys. Oh, please. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Did I do it again? How do I keep doing that? Let's give it the actual music in there. Do. Boop. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. Let's see. Got the basics. Alright, let's see. Just a little bit. Alright.
Out of my way!
Out of my way!
I'll take you.
Now, in some modes, this guy actually, he can't stagger back like that. You don't get to push him back like that. Sometimes he will just keep swinging. And his combo set is really annoying. It punches you a lot. I don't know if it's one in Enforcer at that point. Feels like it's a modified one in Enforcer. But there's modifications to a lot of enemies that get these little attack priorities over you. You can't do nothing. See, this one, even this one is. If anything, Hoyle, please, guys, devs, if it will tremendously help if you guys can add just a little bit of the new mechanics into the training mode, so we can actually get this effect of knowing how to train against some of these enemies that do have the ability to like keep attacking you during certain moments. Like you can dodge counter them, but they keep attacking you. It'll be so great. Survey it, please. Survey it, guys. Put it in the surveys. We need a better training mode. Or at least update it. Update it. We need these. Okay. So there is that. So we kind of went into the basic attacks. And also giving terminology, so like your attack stream. I would say this, even though it's like I gave a terminology for like B1, B2, B3. Some characters it really doesn't really matter because it's always lining up to your B5. It's always the last attack, the final swing of your attack before the strongest moves come out. Some characters just have moves that come out early within their basic attack string, and attack string is just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 all the way to 5, but 1, 2, 3 and then your EX and then continuing your combos. It's just your combo string. Ambi having hers set to just having hers just knowing that is very important to just her, because not every character has that. Some characters go straight into it. Like the most out of Billy comes out of his dodge counter and his dash attacks. So you're doing this with Billy a lot. Other characters, you are really not essentially even attacking. Some characters, you come in EX, you swap them out, and then they're off the field for the rest of the whole battle. Those are other advanced things that come in. So this is why I'm trying to show the basics on just the B5 or just like the basic attack string, so you know that these characters have utility. They're just not really seen that often. Even this is a cool move actually in some modes where this is a launcher. And what does launcher mean? What does a launcher mean, Gami? I don't know what a launcher is. What is that? I'll show you. Let's see. A launcher is anything that takes an enemy off the ground. Her non-EX move launches an enemy into the air. But it's cool because if you do it, you juggle them.
Make a choice.
Did you know she had that? Actually, when she was advertised for the first time, this is one of the moves they showed that she could do. And it's not commonly done. And sometimes it's actually something you can just run into a battle instead of just dash attack. You just run in and just launch them and start their attack. You could do crazy stuff with it. These are little small mechanics that you have in the game that helps with your little combo. Some enemies are just vulnerable to it, and you can really go into a group of like a whole mob and just go you can really do some creative stuff. Now Lycon has one where he actually kicks the enemy. He does a 3-hit combo and he kicks them into the air, and then right after that he can actually go into his he can do his basic attack string and juggle them and tag in and have another enemy another ally juggle the enemy in the same combo string. It's an advanced move, but they have kits, little small things. Now, is this useful in the in-game? No, it's not, unfortunately. But there are certain places like Lost Void where you can actually still control the fight with just a launcher and do some cool stuff. So characters do have kits, little combo kits, and knowing that they have it can change a lot, especially in a certain situation where you want to set up and build yourself for resources. Now let's see. Got you on that one. So let's see. Like, I did have this whole thing with just learning the characters, or just learning how to push and when to push. Let me see. Hold on. Kind of low-key created a guide for you guys. Let me see. To really get into like to show you exactly this, I don't have my like actual like thing, but this is one video from SwitchFlipJones. It's something to keep in mind when it comes down to it. Let's see. Oops. Here you guys go. This is something that I think anybody should like really know when it comes down to it, though. When it is about just learning these action games and just about mashing buttons. And go from there. I mean, really, that's genuinely this lesson. Learning to watch your opponent and just go from there. I'm not sure if you guys see it. Let me see. Yeah, you guys saw it. And you saw all the buttons too. But this is something that actually is like key. Let me see, as well as many of these other techniques and guides. I actually can't wait to get you guys further into these. Some of them, but learning with punishing, or just learning to punish, like actually like learning to when you can get a hit in. I'm pretty sure that's very, very, very easily to actually recognize, even in a game such as Zenless. And even what is, for what I'm trying to break down, the basic attack string. It sounds like gibberish, but here's an example. How do you know? How do you know? It's actually a big question. How do you know in a game like Zenless? To be honest, there is a way. Knowing your opponent, knowing what they are going to do, knowing how to read these indicators, knowing the orange glows, knowing your red glows, especially your red glows, knowing when you're going to get smacked up if you decide to do a parry in a red glow, because sometimes you won't get no evasive assist off of no red glow. Your character you tagged out is going to get hit. So this is why I'm bringing all these things in. It's important for this. So yes, the combo string, even knowing Nicole has a special move where you hold and it makes her ether bomb stay out longer. Now there's a point where you can do this and this changes up the little mechanics. Show you something. Give you one little cool little feature. You get this nice little thing where you can press for that. You see how long it lasts? She holds it and it goes out even longer. when you start building Nicole, because there's a thing with mindscapes, one of her mindscapes allow her to shoot this and it stays out longer. But there's a way to make it even stay out even longer. And there's that move. Whoa. Huh? What just happened? Alright, let me show you. This is once again basics. This is what I will refer to an advanced move, but not really. It's just a hold. Characters have moves that hold. Ambi, where this move comes from you holding the button. Let's see, let me turn that stun off.
The boss is here.
So if you're just smashing this button, she does that. But that's her basic B5. But her B3 to a hold, because if it was just a B3, you get that. But a B3 hold gives her that. It's two different moves. The reason why I say this is something you can learn and is more viable to learn, or when I say viable, is just it works better. It works better. Why does it work better? One, it comes out fast. It comes out faster. Doing this move will set you to, you're relying on that last hit to do the most stun damage. It does do stun damage, but realistically, you're not going to be able to get that out a lot. And a really cool thing about this is you can chain it with your EX attack. 1, 2, 3. And EX. So you also can do, like I said, and finish it. My apologies, no buttons. That and that after. I'll do it again. There's one. Follow up with the EX after, or the EX before, and then the basic after. I wish I had like a button little thing. I'll show you like a combo guide. But one, you see that animation? 1, 2, she does that. 1, 2, 3. She gets like 2 extra hits, so it looks like it looks like a B4, but it's actually just a B3. So, and you get that. That is a real fast way to getting her move out, and so you can get that EX. As soon as her feet touch the ground, you can follow up. And it's a knockdown. Small enemies, it's a knockdown. It seems simple, but I found it to be really hard to do this consistently, especially in the middle of battle. That is an actual combo you can do, because all it requires is you get 2 of her meters. As you can see, this little gauge up at the top, I believe the energy system is broken down too. Let's see, energy and special attacks. Let me see. Do they give you the number? There is a number. So there's a certain amount of energy that each character will have when they're doing their thing. So, say for instance, they're doing... Let's see. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Oh, okay. You got no sound on the videos. That's cool. So... one video. Let me see. The video about like combo guides. It was just basically breaking down, like, there's a whole number system where everything is like, oh, you know, you got like your 214, and you're like, what is that? And it's just, all it is the directional key from your center all the way to this, like, to what direction you're going. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. So those are pretty much how that works in that area. It's just breaking down a directional button input. Button inputs is just how you're gonna make the character do their special command. In certain games, it's like quarter circle forward, which will, like, if you think about it, it's like down, diagonal down, and then forward, and then followed up with the punch button. You get those movements where you don't have that to worry about that in a game like Zenless, but there is still combos that give you that. Like Nicole, she has what we call in the fighting game community is SPD. It was just a spiral directional button. So what does that mean? As you can see my indicator, I'm going like full rotation. As you can see it, it's a 360 motion. So a 360 motion with certain characters will give you special ones. If you all know about Zangief is like the main character that uses that kind of thing. I will also reference all these videos that I actually have in that I'm using today for this guide, and you guys can check them out yourself and being able to actually like get some kind of a mindset into your gameplay and your style of gameplay, and knowing that these mechanics exist. So let me see.
My nail artist said, oh,
So for this, the spiral direction for Nicole, it's just like this, running in a circle. But if you hold her EX, she does this, right? And that bomb stays out for a while. But if you learn to time it, especially if you are close enough to the enemy, the initial does damage. And if you chain it with that spiral directional, and now that bomb stays out even longer. Because her special mechanic, when you start reading stats, gives her the ability to make that stay out longer the longer you charge it. This just comes from the development of learning your character. Learn all your characters, because every single character in this game has potential, mad potential. You just have to learn how to team them up. And matter of fact, if you have a favorite character, play that character, master them, and you may find that some other characters who are said to not work may work for you and actually give you what you are desiring out of your kit. So don't stout yourself from any team that you are desiring. Learn them and master them as much as you can. If they are not giving you the full-on damage scale for what you're trying to compete with, that's going to be much more difficult in a more different area. So try not to focus on that.
low risk work.
So just try to keep yourself in the area of just staying basic. What are you trying to get out of your character, or what are you even playing that character for? Is it style? Is it the character look good? If it is, play the character and learn them. Read their stats and learn what they can do. Look at videos and see what they can do individually, so you can see how they can actually incorporate their style into other characters. But this is one of the little mechanics that you have with her, and if you learn it, you'll start learning that these characters have some really cool moves. But you gotta learn your buttons first. Learning your dodging, your attacking is very important. Switching your characters, raw tagging in, sending your character in like this.
Copy that. Fine.
They have a certain time. As you can see, that yellow button on the bottom right, it goes gray when you send them in. You can't send them in as long as it's gray. Now, if you have a full team of green, you can send them in and they'll keep coming in because that, you know, by the time the other person comes in, the other one is like, hey, I could come back in. But now you're just, and you're hoping to do that to block and parry something, it's going to cost you. And that's not good either. And if I can show you what that means, I will. I will definitely show you that. Let's see, let's go back. Let's go back to this guy. And you're just doing that.
I'm here.
Beware of doing that. Because I know it's a thing. I know it's a thing.
Fine.
If you're one of them,
I'm here. Roger.
this is raw tagging. And then hoping for this to save you. And then sending this back in. It's going to be a waste of points after a while. And ultimately you're just going to keep getting smacked up. So learn that your parry system, like doing these parries, are limited. They are very limited, but they become easy to manage once you actually learn your teams. And let me add another character in here. I'll show you what I mean.
Case to solve. Let's.
Did you call me? Meow.
Just leave it to me.
Now that's a common. That's a common. Learning when you get hit and then sending in another character to pull in, start your combo chain back up. That is going to be one of the things that it will continually happen. Just know that you are exposed a lot of the times when you're sending another character in, so be careful of doing so, because it costs a lot, and it's not fun to keep losing your characters over something like that. So control your button presses as much as possible, and just knowing. So once again, I can go back to this again. Basic holds. A basic hold with this character, with Nekomata, is just like that. Let's see. Gotta get this thing in. Oops. Alright. Trying to be able to. It's not the same when I don't have the chat on the thing. So I can't see you guys on where I need to see you guys. So I'm like alternating through windows. Alright. Alright, so a lot of people don't like this character. I know why y'all don't like her. But she's still a good character. I just don't understand so much is being spat on it. You just don't know how to play her. She's a back attacker. She likes to be behind her enemy. Pause. All her damage comes from countering and getting behind them. If you can get a back attack on them, you do damage. Now, here's a really cool thing. This is something we're going to come back to. The timer that I just mentioned about the characters not being able to attack at a certain time is a thing. Now, Ambi suffers that, but other characters like Nakamata doesn't. Why? Because her animation for her dodge counter, you will sit and watch her do a whole counter by the time you even have to do it again. Because you get those 2 free dodges. You get 2 free dodges. 1, 2, before it goes on cooldown. But it's so long that you get that freebie. So if an enemy is constantly attacking you, all you have to wait is for that last move to go through, and you can cancel it again and dodge again. Let's see. You don't want to do it. And she back dodges. She back dodges a lot. That space that she gets is kind of hard to show in this one. But certain characters do have longer animations. So it does kind of give a sense of like, oh man, why does that character get more dodge time than this character? And that's where everyone starts separating them. But dodge rolling will help you learn this mechanic, because some of the bosses and some enemies will force you into positions where you have to learn how to dodge roll, or you just need to learn to parry at the right time so you can get what you need in. Oh, that was hairy. Let's see.
Fall back, kitty cat.
My turn, my turn! Over here!
A little tougher. A little tougher. So Nakamata is kind of a press and hold character. When I say press and hold, her attacks, the longer you attack, she does this automatic. As you can see, she does 3 swipes back and forth through the enemy. That is her hold. If you attack and hold, she will, at the end of her attack, she will just swipe right through them. Every character has, like, or almost every character has, like, some kind of hold, and this is what it looks like. So if you're trying to learn your character, I'm not sure what your characters may be, or if you have a favorite, I guess you could post, comment whatever you want to post in here, and let me know what is your favorite one, or what is the character you actually have that is like, I actually need to learn that one, like, because that character is actually like you know, that's my character, and I need to know what I can do in these little options up here, and I will cover that. Because these little basic attack strings will really give you those advantages if you know how to use them. Like if you learn Nekomata's little string, you can get away with actually like kind of just zipping around the field. The enemies can't really touch you, and you're actually getting back attacks on several of them at the beginning. If you're playing like Lost Void or something that you're really not like trying to push on like time, I would say. Lost Void sometimes gives you the grace of not having to rush the clock. You know what I mean? Actually, this game is highly timed, so it is a good point to where you will learn that these moves will help you out. Maybe I can actually go and show what that would look like. So HDD system, get your little let's see. Trying to remember one. There was one that made you face the time so tough. Trying to remember. Some of them do. Can't remember. Matter of fact, actually, what is in one level that you can consider in the HDD system that actually, if you can post in here in the chat, what is one of the modes of the HDD that you may have like this time crunch or to deal with it? Deal with the little thing, but you're like facing mobs, because that is a thing. That is like a big one. That is a big one. Dealing with like multiple mobs and having to fight them all at the same time and trying to remember all this at the same time. That's where all these like mechanics of learning dodge counter is so important, because when you're being ganged up on, being able to stun one enemy and getting the chain attack initiated will start giving you the momentum to be able to like start controlling a fight. So really start learning how to actually do that, hearing those prompts. So those moments where you're in a fight like that and you're like getting crowded up on, you can actually start getting that, and by getting your dash counters out, you can stun them faster, and you can also start getting more damage in, and you can probably inadvertently just kill enemies on the side and you don't even know you killed them. But you know, you can start getting those groups of mobs out of the way faster, and you can actually clear your round faster, and you can get that S rank that you're trying to get. So let me see if I have anything I can say for like, matter of fact, I'll show you. Since we don't have really much of a good training one, I'm gonna have to like refer to the outposts a little bit and then do the Noctorious hunts. So the Noctorious hunts are kind of like one of those areas where you will fight a real boss that you've unlocked. Show you one, for example, this. Yes. We're not gonna go with that. We're not gonna do that. Okay, we're not even gonna do that.
Is the concert starting? You're right. Time for some gel care.
Did you call me? Meow.
So let's see.
Nothing to fear. The cunning hairs are here.
Oops.
I'll help you win. But
Ready for combat.
Alright. Also, lineups. Lineups come very specifically. Your lineups could go from, if you're trying to do your stunner, you're trying to stun an enemy, either your stunner is going to go first or your stunner will be at the back. Your support will be in an area where whoever is the attacker has to be lined up after your support so they can get that assist. Now, I'm saying this because this is the most basic team you will get at the beginning of the game when you first start. You will just have probably like Billy.
Guns, so double the accuracy.
Matter of fact, I'll do Billy because that is like guaranteed team to have is this right here. So lineup, you will have like Ambi. This is your stunner. So the enemy is going to stun your enemy, put them down, leave them vulnerable to be able to attack, get your attacks in. You're gonna have Nicole. You're gonna have Nicole for your support. Support classes have an ability called assist, quick assist, and it allows them to, if they use their EX or even their chain attack or their ultimate, they are able to combo the following party member in with a special attack that will give them advantage, pretty much. And it sets up a really fast-paced combo system. But for this example, it's usually what you will start off with. And if you guys are also trying to clear content but you're dying a lot, I started off with this Bangbu. This Bangbu heals you. It will get you through a long-term fight. If you're not really trying to get through time, you're just trying to survive, this is your Bangbu that you want to go with until you can start really getting used to fighting an enemy. And this Bangbu is going to show up a lot when you draw for Bangbus. So Avocado is your saving grace. And it's usually like this, to be honest, this is how I started the game. Except actually, I got Lycone at the beginning, so it was like Lycone, and then out of nowhere, I pulled Ellen right after. Like I pulled him, I pulled Ellen, and then of course I was like, oh wow, and I just worked with it from there. But I can guarantee a lot of you guys who are starting, this is like every single person is going to start off with this team. This team is still good. This team is still killing content. You just got to know how to use them and learn when to push your buttons. So it's crazy it doesn't do that. Let me see. Alright, so Noctorious Hunts, there's these little cards. Like I said, you eventually will get to content where this is a thing. Just know that this is a good one to have off the bat. If you don't know what to select between these two and how your characters are going to benefit from either side, from Ice Damage, or if this is, why should I use this in there? Just go with this. Stunning an enemy and keeping them down longer is always like A1. Whoop.
Starlight Knights, assemble!
My turn.
That was an accident. Wrong button moment.
Don't worry, everyone will get their share.
I've got your six.
Whoop. Wasn't fast enough.
Bye-bye, suckers. Ow!
Easy target. Perfect.
Ooh.
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet?
Preparing takedown.
Waving them all out, there's nothing better.
I've got plenty of bullets.
See that? Getting hit no matter what I'm doing. So remember to keep your eyes up for knowing you're going to get hit. If you can't get out of it, there is an option to assist out and save your character. See?
I got you.
So raw tagging sometimes doesn't help you.
Evasive maneuver.
Sometimes you can get that. Some moves you can act like a lot of these moves you can actually dodge them out.
Keep the pace. This won't hurt.
Not.
Electric charge.
Up for a week's maximum firepower. Starlight, shine bright. Ah!
I'll show you.
Feel the power of Starlight.
Evasive, and you get hit.
It's my turn. It's my turn. Careful. It's my turn.
As you can hear, he gave me an indicator to know that's something dangerous, and I can't block that with no assist. I can't parry that.
Hey, hey.
My bullets never lose sight of their target.
Preparing takedown.
Waving them all out, there's nothing better.
It's showtime! Ah! Isn't it over?
Woo! And she dead.
My friend.
So now you can see all the mistakes that normally can happen. Trust me, I don't do this normally. But this is the normal common things that can actually happen during a battle.
It's my turn! Not good!
Dodging at the right time can give you the ability to dodge a lot of moves that actually may even appear unblockable. Just gotta time it right.
It's my turn!
I'm gonna hit that one. There it is. So you gotta time it a little early. As soon as you see the charge, and you can get it.
You're looking good. Just leave it to me.
See? You get no turn. So knowing when your turn is there is important. You don't get a lot of chances to just mash out of everything.
Be gone. Behave now.
Starlight, never die!
We'll never back down.
So there's like 3 things I just did in here. So like I did like 3 different variations of the chain attack. So when I was mentioning this whole thing with having your characters lined up a certain way, there's for a reason. So when you're doing a certain attack and you're calling in a character to parry for another character, those characters will take over the fight and then line up switches like a triangle. So from left to right is your first character, and if you go to your next character to block or tagging them in, you will bring in number 2. And if you have number 3 lined up, or whoever is in number 3 will block for number 2. And then this is vice versa for the back button, because you can also go back to the previous character and you can go back and forth. I did this earlier. It's hard to see all these things because there's so much going on. So once again, once you're in a fight, these concepts are gone. You just kind of remember what is natural to you. So getting these good habits of actually having these things, of knowing the dodge counters, and also knowing when, hey, you know what, I ain't even gonna risk dodge countering. Let me just parry. And if I can get my parries in there properly, and knowing the boss is gonna have a certain attack sequence, and knowing how to defend against it. Because if you don't defend against it, they're just going to punch you up. And as you can see, there was several times where I was actually getting hit and I was mashing, and you could see me smashing that button to try to get out of it, but it didn't happen. This is a common thing that happens to every player, is you want to mash out and get out of there, and there's that assist button that's going off on the bottom right corner of the next character saying, hey, tag me in, and you will tag them in, but because of the nerves and your mashing, you will end up pushing that button twice. So not only you will call them in for the assist, but you will raw tag the other person in next, so after them, and it will just throw off everything. Now the order is out of in your own mind has lost the order, and now you don't know, what am I supposed to do at this point? Do I attack with this character? Should I call the other character back in? That's where you got to control your button mashing. So knowing, just push it once, get the command out, and just wait. From there, wait for your opponent to do something so you can defensively punish them for it. I'll wait for you to get back up. Can't get that in there. Can't dodge roll a lot of those. But you can dodge roll if you learn to space out that little sequence. Gotta get out of that corner. Can't see nothing. Not every game you need to win. The one game you need to win is the analysis of knowing your opponent. I got hit for all that. Okay, alright. I can't push a button there. I can't push a button there. I can't push a button here. Oh, okay, he follows up with that. That's fast. Okay. Learn your opponent. Learn your buttons. And then you'll start learning how to dodge roll. Ooh! I forgot how it went delays and lingers. Look at that, smack me like a fly. So you can see. Alright. I'm not getting good dodge rolls. Covers you for consistent back-to-backs, but what happens when they keep attacking at odd patterns? Well, alright, dodge rolling doesn't work. Now you have to start incorporating a new system. And this is where your parries are going to have to come in. And this is when you call in your characters on those orange glows. Oh, get up. I barely touched you. Give you one last one. Evasive assists with Billy.
It's my turn. Quit moving. It's my turn. Try this.
I know I can't get hit during her EXs while she's charging her EX. Can't get hit there either. So I'm putting them together. I get my dodge, and when I'm on cooldown, I could throw in the EX as well, and that will give me a little bit of space as well, and then I can get a little bit more of an iframe, invulnerable frames, so I can actually not get hit. This is not something you will do typically, but as you're learning, you will have enough time to be able to know what you can get away with and when you can push a button. I'll do it again for you guys one more time. This time I will do this one a little bit on the style. You'll see how I play and where it matches in. I don't think my Billy is built though. I think I stripped off his strides and stuff. Poor guy. So I'm just fighting him from what he got.
I got you. Try this. What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet?
Electric charge.
Feel the power of Starlight. Keep it up.
Ah! They ain't giving me my dash counter, or my parry release must be strong from that. Whoop! Mistimed that.
Everyone will get their share. Ah! Easy target. Perfect.
Billy! Bye-bye, suckers!
Try
Build
this.
up.
I've got plenty of
And be parry.
Eliminating target.
Back.
Keep the pace.
Whoop.
Abby!
Almost had that. Pushed it a little too late. I got no buttons up for you guys.
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet?
Electric charge.
Wiping them all out. There's nothing better.
Feel the power of Starlight. It's showtime! Isn't it over?
Whoop.
Fracture.
My bullets never lose sight of their target.
Preparing takedown.
Wiping them all out. There's nothing better.
Easy target. Perfect.
Gotta run.
Feel the power of Starlight.
Moving on. Thunder.
What are you waiting for? To catch a bullet?
Electric charge.
Wiping them all out. There's nothing
Easy target. Perfect.
Whoop.
Starlight, shine bright. Ah! Careful.
I've got your six. Neutralize. Thunder.
I got greedy. I got greedy. Jeez, my belly is so stripped. What was all that? What was all that? What does that all mean? What is it? What does it even come into play for me as a player? I just saw a whole bunch of buttons getting pushed, and I didn't know how they were all in sequence. This is the fundamental rule of learning your dodge, learning your parry, when to parry, when to dodge, and knowing that button is as displayed for each and every single button that I pressed. That's what the purpose of every single one of these mechanics were. So you will know when to push these buttons, when to dodge, when to use your assist, what you're looking for. And in fact, as you can see, is when I was exhausting all those oranges, eventually I was stuck in a position where I had to just use dodge counters. and so I can find a way to get out of the corner or get into a point where I can stagger the boss back with my own stun, or with a counter. Those things become one of the things you're going to face a lot. So you don't get to just push one button all day. You don't get to just do this all day. And then sometimes it's just easy, your main two. And then this when emergency comes. These become, I'm paying attention to this, and then let me roll out and do this. Learning those little small key things will help you. Learning when you can parry, when you can actually throw in your two, when you can throw in your assist, knowing when you can actually block with your enemy, with your team, and knowing when is probably a good thing to save those, you know, those parries, so that you don't get exhausted and you will have a better opportunity to be able to do it. So learning to balance those two, learning to balance out your dodges, because you have infinite dodges. If you learn the key and see your enemies like right on point, you can actually do some stuff. Actually, one that I know someone suffers greatly on is the Marionette twins. And I won't even use them again.
We really need.
If you need.
Hey, let's start.
I'll help you. Did you
Standing by.
It's up. Is it tough?
And you
I'm at your.
standing by.
I would never help you with.
Wish I could have better.
For combat. This is the number 6.
I would never.
Standing.
I
See.
shall follow your.
I only.
Time for some hard labor.
In fact, let me use Nekomata.
Nothing to fear.
A mission?
You wanted to one.
Did you call me? Yeah.
Shout out to all the Nekomata haters. This one specifically for you. Stop hating on the kitty. Whoops.
Wanna try my massage?
Electric charge.
Move it right now!
Whoops. Sometimes you can dodge that in. Trying to be fancy. Woo! Could have blocked that, didn't you?
Bonus for this! Nice and watch out! I'm over here! Let's play some more!
Be gone. You're looking good.
Don't worry, it's gonna hurt a lot.
Preparing takedown.
Look at all that! That'll teach ya!
Fall back, kitty cat.
And stop that. And I said stop it again.
It's up to you. At your command.
Why don't you have it taste like fun? Wipe it all out. Nothing better. Time to sharpen my claws.
Well, that was a little bit more of a display. So that one I was using more of the dodge rules to be able to help with the stun with Ambi. Yes, faulted a couple button presses. Yes, but I think you can get the gist after this. Dodging is very important because if you're heavily relying on just the parries, be prepared for a heck of a time in your fight because you're probably gonna die a lot. I can guarantee that because it's not something that's infinite and you're not going to get a lot of. Not unless you're stunning the enemy and causing a lot of chain attacks and getting your points back. It's going to be really hard. So you have to really learn how to effectively use your dodge properly. Getting your combos out so you can get that EX in and stun them, put them down. And so you can continue. The lineup, how I was doing those chain attacks as well, is a basic thing. Get this in right now if you can, as a beginner. Learning to start your attack if you're stunning them, get your stunner to hit first, and if your stunner is initiating, get your attacker to hit first, and then get your stunner to hit second, and your support to hit last. The reason why you do this is because your support is able to quick assist your attack back in for your attacker to do their combo to immediately get damage in because they get buffed from the support. Whatever buffs or special abilities that gives your characters, whoever is next after your support, gets enhanced abilities. So enhanced attributes, whether it be more critical damage, more attack. These things effectively come into place if they're right side by side with each other. So in your support keynote, your support will always send in your next, who's next, not previous, next. Unless you're playing certain characters who go backwards in their quick assist, like Seth or Pulchra. These characters, there's other characters that allow you to go backwards in their quick assist. So this will give you the ability to go backwards and give the person who's before them that benefit. And there's ways you can play with this. If you can see what I'm talking about, you can find a way to actually have like an actual character like that, and have a support. So both of them are constantly focusing on the attacker and buffing the attacker and allowing them to constantly be on the field. These are advanced things, but once again, basics. So the lineup is the basics, is a fundamental rule, is where you put your characters in your roster when you put them on the field, and who's going to come out first, who's coming out second, who's coming out third. This is important. So learn this thing, learn this mechanic, and learn what these characters do individually, how they make that next character stronger when they come out on the field. Now, one thing to go back to that I also did in the middle of this video, or this battle, I'm sorry, is the previous button. When you have your stunner, you can go back to your attacker and have your attacker block for your stunner or whoever your support is. But it's always important is to, if you want to build up some stun damage or some daze, which will stun the enemy, you can go back to your stunner and have your stunner block for whoever it is, but you have to have a button set up for the previous characters, previous switch. So it was the button will be switched to previous character. Hold on, let me Let me show you, because this is important in your buttons, in your important in your button layout. So if you are a little difficult going off the like just the dome of it all. Let me see. Let me see. Right here. Switch characters previous and switch characters next. So this is important. So if you're like playing with Ambi and you're fighting and you switch to Nicole, or you switch to Nicole and she comes in, how can you maintain that stun flow that you were having? So if you had Nicole come in and the enemies are throwing out another orange and you can have another character come in, don't push this button. Hit this button. This button will send Ambi back in and she will block for Nicole. And that way she will get that extra stun. She builds up meter, she builds up resource, and you can continue building resources for your other characters as well as you continue to, you know, parry and parry with them. Usually this is something you'll start off with. Some battles, like when you get to late game, you'll have like a battle tower. You start with nothing. You have to build up resources, which means you got to start attacking. And the only thing you can do is either dodge counter or parry, so you can actually get enough resources from just hitting your opponent back to be able to get energy back and also build up your decibel rating. Your decibel ratings can also be affected by what moves you do, whether it's just parrying, whether it's dodge countering, whether it's throwing in a quick assist, throwing in certain types of moves that will add in and makes the meter go up a little faster. Other than that, you're kind of just like faced with just using your basic knowledge of the character and trying not to get hit. Because you get hit in battle towers, it's like usually about maybe 50 to 75% of your health when you climb up high. And you don't want to get hit at all. And some of the battle towers are actually ranked through you actually getting hit, or you know how long you're in there fighting. Some of them, one of them is timed. The other one's more lenient, and you just have to survive. But the system is basically you lose a character, your rank goes down. You know, there's other things that goes in there, and I'm sure you guys have already seen as new players, or veterans have already seen that happen. So really when it comes down to it, it just comes down to knowing how to manage your resources. That was one of the things that I like came into running in the notes, is literally just how you will manage your resources at the right time. Let me see. I got your perfect assists. Now the thing with some of the characters, or some of this game, learning the teams, your team roles, you have to learn your team roles, learn the difference between each character when it comes down to if they're anomaly, learn every single thing about them. Read this. When you get your character, read this thing, read it thoroughly, read it again and again and again and again and again and again, and know what these things mean. This yellow is very, very important. Like all these like highlights, learn them because that's what they're really focused on. Additional abilities as well is important to learn these little different abilities. Like, let me see, let's go to Ambi. Whoops, almost clicked that. Launch, launch basic attack, Thunderbolt, special EX or special attack after a third hit of Ambi's. Remember I was saying B3? And I said Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt comes from holding. So if you're doing your character guys, if you do these cooperative exercises, they will teach you what this means. This focuses on this. So if you're learning these things, you will actually improve dramatically with that character individually because you will know exactly what they mean by it. It is her main kit to be able to do this move as fast as much as possible, and it will help initiate these things. Having this satisfied too will help. As you can see, it builds up her energy faster, and Ambi having energy is A1 because she can do that EX, she can stun, she can put you down real fast. So it's really good. She's also able to be like a kind of a, they have her as a sub DPS, so like some people actually made her do damage. If you're key on trying to focus on that, that's something at an advanced level. There's plenty of guides on how to do that, but that's not something I'm really covering at this time. That will be something longer down the line as we continue this. But for every character, like if you're, whatever your character is, learn these kits. Learn these, because it's important. Read them and learn. If you are still struggling, go back into a cooperative exercise, learn it. And if you're still struggling, go into training mode. Really go into VR and practice and set those settings just as you've seen me do in the VR settings. And the VR settings is a free training mode. It's right here in your menu, VR training, and you can hit here. Here's for all the little cooperative exercises you can train on your characters if you need to learn your character again. They even do it for new characters. Even if you don't own the character, you can still learn the character and actually master them in a way before you even acquire them, because they're still playable characters based on that story content. So it's all here. It's all knowledge for you to gain. Reading also, you guys, the proxy handbook is very good. Everything is here that you need to learn, from all your directional pads to all of it. It is important to read these if you're stuck. I'll try to go over just about everything. This is how you can. I went over basics. Of course, you guys know how to attack, but there's a little bit more to it, so I kind of covered a little bit more deep, in depth to it. Learning this, your agent info. Really pay attention to these things. Your agent info panel is, like I said, something you should be watching actively and passively, right? In a way, it should just like be one of those things your eyes just trigger over to that side of the corner of the screen, like, oh snap, let me check my resources real quick. I got like half a second to like glance at it, and my eyes can, oh okay, Ambi got meter, or Nicole got meter, all right, I can do this combo, so this is what I want to throw out next, and start planning your next move while you're micromanaging this, learning to watch this. Learn to watch this, not watch this. This green is important. Is not important as much as it is for this gauge down here. Now, this becomes almost irrelevant if you don't have any stun characters, because it's hard to build this meter, especially when you start facing enemies that have high stun, have high daze resistance. It is a thing. This starts to become one of the things you pay attention to, but it's not really something you pay attention to. The only thing you'll pay attention to this is when you start getting advanced and knowing that some bosses will start to do special moves or ultimates when they reach a certain percentage of their health. Like if this drops like right here, this enemy was guaranteed is going to go into this sequence and do this thing. You can't stop them either. Once they go into it, you can't stop them. Just know that happens. And that's something you'll start to pay attention to. Learning to see your energy gauges, like I said, really focus on learning how to build that and seeing when the opportunity is. As you see this, you can know that, oh, okay, Nicole's is up there. So I got my gauge, boom, I got this gauge. Now I can, I can use my EX, push the button, get something out there, do your damage, etc., etc. Yep. Let me see. Move that out your way. Let's see. your days and chain meters. Actually, it's funny, as you can see in this this part. Oh no, let me see. I did cover. Yeah, covered that. And even covered this. Like I said, there's an EX that does. As you can see, there's two variants. The dry, this is what I'll call a dry EX, because it literally is it's like you're dry on meter, and you're using the button, but it still is a button, and it actually does something. So for her, it launches an enemy. For Nicole, it just shoots out like a strong bullet. It's equivalent to just pressing and holding with her. Whoops. Let's see. So we got the specials. Days, and yeah, as you can see, the days meter goes down as it over time as you put them into it. So if you are confused on the days meter as well, when you see that yellow bar reach all the way to the end, that means you'll see it go into this prismatic rainbow glow. If you hit them with a certain attack, well, if you're not using a manual chain attack, if you're not using that, it will automatically do it for you. So a heavy attack, like say for instance, like the end of a hit, like that strong attack that comes from your character, that's a normal. But when I mean like a strong attack, is like if you use Ambi's Thunder or you use EX or Ultimate, while that rainbow stun meter is going on, or rainbow days meter is going on, you will see it will go off and you will be able to initiate the chain attack, and that's where that comes in. So if you are not paying attention and you have like 3 enemies on the field who are just rainbow and they're just sitting there just like that means you're missing opportunities, because ultimately you can actually turn chain attacks into other like AoE base attacks for the field, because when chain attacks go off, it's either like direct or there's like some kind of like a little bit of an area of effect, which is what AoE is. That is a term that you need to get familiar with as well as AoE, and crowd control, which is CC, and being able to know that some characters have that ability. Nicole, her ether bomb, when she does her little thing, she shoots out that big old bubble, that allows enemies to it will pull enemies to its center. And that actually is crowd control. It brings your enemies closer to each other so you can attack them as a group instead of attacking them individually. If you're having troubles completing a level, and it's because of time, it's usually because you're fighting all these groups of enemies one-on-one, and you should group them all together and beat them up as a whole, so that way you can actually kill them quicker and then move on. That is like one of the main, like number one fundamentals. So find out your characters who's able to do that, or at least can do a large range of AoE damage that can hit enemies around them while they're doing their special moves, like their chain attacks or their ultimates, even their EX, and seeing what it is. Like Nujabes has, like if you build her special one, you guys will know that. That's where you'll get that out. She can like hit a large range of the field, even if enemies are scattered around. She will hit a lot of enemies around her, but it's mostly like kind of primarily in front of her, but it's kind of like in front, actually, and back too, I believe, because she ends up going from one side in front and they end up on the other side and hitting them from the back. Anything else to cover on this one? Days, it's pretty straightforward. It's just those. Let's see. And of course your decibels, I went into that one with you guys. As you can see, decibels are accumulated individually. It used to not be that way. So do learn that these are accumulated by themselves for each character. So getting their chain attacks or getting them on the field and attacking will build up their gauge. And if you have it up and you're like, ooh, if I can stun this enemy, I can use this ultimate on them and it will be even more damage. And that's where you start to learn how to play with it, you know. And like, I'm going to save it and I'm going to send in this character and do the stun, and then, you know, send another character, debuff them, make them weaker, and then I'm going to send in my attacker and just do a ton of damage. And that's where that's where you win in the battle the most, is from doing those kind of techniques. There's other ways of doing it as you start to become more advanced in the game. Some characters have the ability to block bullets. It's not really like kind of a big deal, but when you start to get in further content where you have to like beat the level without or not get hit at all, and blocking bullets will even become a thing. But learning your dash attacks, I covered that. That was just that, learning to just soon as you push the dodge button and then pressing your attack button will allow you to do kind of a dash attack, and that actually sets you up for a combo, and it gets you in too. I like doing Lycone, so he does this like kind of cool Sub-Zero slide and it gets him in, and it's really fast too, and you can combo right off of it too. I don't know how much of this I really covered. I covered a lot on that one. Even learning, as you can see, the dodge counter, learning the dodge counter and then watching this gauge, not spamming this. Space it out as much as you can before the character runs out of their animation and can get hit. Like learning to attack in like that, so you can get into the move. This is really important for dodge rolling. Enemies like that one, like I saw, he just does that punch one, and if you mistime it, he's gonna just like wham, and you get stuck, and then you have to like time it at the right moment to not get hit, so you can actually hit him back and punish what you're about to get punished on. And then so taking damage out, obviously your character can become staggered. As you seen, the butcher, he was hitting me and I was getting stuck. I couldn't move when he was doing his combo. I couldn't mash out. The only thing I could do is really call in another teammate, but I couldn't like stay on that same character and just mash the dodge button and get out of there. I couldn't really hit anything. The only thing you could really do to save yourself in those moments is smashing the ultimate button. If you use your ultimate, that will allow you to cancel out those animations, every animation, and you can, get these really cool punishing moves to stop the boss from just beating you to death. That's something I will actually be covering in the next one. Is like just advanced moves, like kind of going into the area what can actually chain up, and this is where like the combos and stuff will start coming in. Let me see. Of course, as you can see, when you're getting hit, strong attack sends your character flying. Use your assist to come in and get back in, because if you don't and you stay in this state, your character, while they're still trying to recover, can get hit by another follow-up attack, like whatever he would do. And that's what you were seeing as well as a demonstration. That legitimately was a prime example for what will happen to you in a fight if you were continuing to leave your character in. So don't be afraid to use this. It's a freebie. You get that. It doesn't take your assist point either. It's a freebie. So if you need to get back in the fight, push that button. But just remember, don't mash it. Don't mash it, because you can end up sending your character in for this and then end up sending another character in as well. And then next thing you know, the character that you don't want in is in. And you got to go from there. Parrying, obviously. Parrying, it takes points. Launching chain attack or ultimate generates 1 assist points. So that's the only way you're going to get it back. to be able to get this back and to fill it back up, chain attack or ultimate. So stunning them and getting a chain attack, that will get it back. I think, now I'm not sure for each character. I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me say ultimate trigger. Yeah. That's pretty much, so this is like you were seeing, pressing the assist button at the right time, you block, and you can actually go from one character and send them in. So you'll do that. And it works immediately. If you push that button, when you see that orange, it doesn't I actually don't think there's a real like frame time for it. It feels instantaneous for me. If it's not for you and you feel like it's not, like, I'm pretty sure it's not. But as you can see, it really is like practically instantaneous. It's a cancelable button. So if you're in the middle of a combo, you can actually you can orientate these into your combo as you're attacking enemies, to get them to like throw a certain attack at you, just because you're just like mashing the attack button, you're just hitting them with, basic attacks, and then they just decide to attack you back, but you're baiting that move to come out so you can actually hit them with whatever strong attack you have, or strong parry that you have waiting for them. Sing some music. So I think this is really something that can kind of even go into the advanced like setup of knowing how to control this. And it works for every little thing. There's a different, oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for. So perfect assist, defensive assist, evasive assist. There's 3 different ones. Perfect assist or comes in these 2. So if you see this, anytime you see this, it just means these 2. So the moment you do a perfect assist, if a character has a weapon they could block with, they will do a defensive, which means that's what Ambi is doing, is that block. Now, and what Billy is doing is the evasive assist, and it allows them to dodge. But the cool thing about evasive assist, it stops time. It's like Bayonetta. It's like you literally get this witch time, and you get a moment to where you can get a setup. Either you can dodge it and send back in your character, or you can just attack them from there. There's a lot of different advantages you get from it. So it is a thing that is still set up for characters that don't have the ability to block like that, like Ambi and the rest of a lot of main characters. So do keep that in mind. Now, the difference between red attacks, I will tell you this. There is some moves that bosses will do. There's like, you have to go through the sequence of what they're doing. The first major boss is Nineveh, and that boss has a move where she will go to the middle of the map and she will do something crazy. You'll get this move where you can't hit her, and she will set up these walls. If you do not get behind a wall, she will immediately delete your character. There's no way out of it. You can't use an ultimate, you can't use an EX, you can't dodge it. It's undodgeable. It's literally unblockable. You have to respect the conditions. Those are really critical moves. Those are the boss's ultimate moves, and you gotta get out of their way. You have to get out of their way. If you don't, you're dead. So learning that there's a difference between these, it's important to learn your orange, knowing your red, and knowing your specials, like enemy specials. You'll see ethereals turn like a rainbow color, and they were about to do something like I think it is is it Dullahan or is it Thanatos? I think it's Dullahan. Dullahan has a charge and you can hear it charge up and he goes to stab you. If you are trying to dodge it, you have to dodge it at the very right moment. But there's no indicator unless you're really pressing attack, and then you can actually see him go into indicator. There's certain conditions you can get it, but some enemies don't have no indicator. It's just that move comes out, and if you're thinking you can parry it, you're gonna get hit for mad damage. If you try to dodge it, you can dodge it, but it's still a lingerable move, so chances is you're gonna get hit again. Absolutely, that's exactly what it goes into, Kayasa. It does put people into an area where it's not your turn. Just realize it's not your turn, and when it's not your turn, you should not be pushing that attack button. If you're here, if you're doing this, stop it. Stop it. Wait your turn. Wait your turn. Or wait for the right moment to push the dodge button or push an assist so you can block it. Because sometimes parrying a move will actually get the boss to flinch back and you get a turn. And now it's your turn. Even like Street Fighter, they have a parry system where you parry a move. Even if they did a really, really good move, you parry that move at the right time, it's now your turn. Because now you're plus. If you're plus, that means you get an advantage. If you're negative, you're at a disadvantage. Like, think of Anakin versus Obi-Wan. who's on a high ground at this point, you know? And if you're not respecting that high ground, be prepared to eat a lot of damage, you know? And that's just from lack of, just being able to respect the system, respect the mechanics. We haven't really gotten into these, nor really the shield system. There's characters who have shield. The shields will protect your health and even sometimes protect you from being hit and staggered, but it doesn't really protect you from everything. So you still have to respect it. It's like having shield, that's your extra gauge. Like, that's your extra health. And actually having shield is really like, you want to hold on to it as long as you can, because if you get hit by a certain enemy, you're going to lose a lot of health, and that will buffer you to stay alive a little bit longer. And also through certain other conditions and being able to counter back with certain defensive characters like Ben or even Seth that have the ability to create a shield for themselves before they just start smacking back. You haven't gone into those yet. This will be more, I will cover these into the more advanced part. So really, I wanted to cover just just the basic controls and understanding these little small things. Because this is like one of the things that is overlooked a lot. And that's what it's just believed to be. People just come in and I'm just push button, blah, 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 and, I win because I got a strong character. A lot of the times they were like, man, I can't beat this, I can't get no S rank. Well, it's because you keep dying with this character, or your character keeps getting hit, or you're spending so much time like just smashing the buttons and switching out characters and trying to use all their resources that you're not getting a good combo flow, or you're not getting a good, being realistic, you're not getting a good combo flow, which means you're not consistently controlling the fight. And that means that the damage you're doing per second is dramatically lower than others. And that's just something that you will start to learn over time. So just be ready to struggle like that, to get smacked up a lot. Be prepared to lose and be okay with losing. Be okay with dying. Learn from it. Really learn from it. And have confidence in your ability to learn and understand those mistakes, because that's what will really like separate you from just casual play to actually really playing the game and enjoying it to the max and actually being able to contend back in areas. So this is like my areas, what I wanted to cover with this. There's so much more to cover, and believe that, but there's little small basic things that I wanted to get into. I do want to go into other things, but they're more in advanced class, and I don't want to really overload in this one. This will be just something you can like take in and incorporate into your current style and just practice. I want you guys to just practice. Find your team, practice. And if anything, like leave a comment, and I'm definitely checking these comments. So if you guys have anything and you want to like add in something like, man, I wish you would have covered this, or I wish you would have said this, and, you know, based on if it was like one of the sides of being like just this area of basic, I can definitely like get you. I got you. I mean, it's going to go into the advanced. I will definitely answer it, but I will save it for something that will be used in the next video on the next stream, so you guys can actually see it at work, and I'll try to make sure I can like really put it into play. So since this is kind of the first video, I'm like winging it, and giving you just guys the basics, because this is stuff I know that a lot of people suffer from, and there's a few players I have played with that I've seen play, and I'm like, man, this is a general like common thing, and it's maybe it needs to be announced of what it is, you know, how that actually happens, like, you know, dodging poorly or parrying too much and getting, you know, really punished and beat up for it. You know, I just want you guys to be able to see in a perspective of where it is for more, I guess you could say, a more veteran player, aside from just a casual play, and knowing really what these buttons do, because you can see my buttons was lighting up at one point when I actually really went in, and we're sitting in a different area where both switch buttons were being used. The dodge button was being used at a certain sequence time. My combos with the basic strings with, you know, B3 to B5 was very precise, even though sometimes I mashed, it was to buffer. Buffering is a thing to where some characters don't attack as fast as you're pushing the button, and that's okay, but sometimes you have to push that button twice so they can get that final animation in. But just remember that mashing is much more different than you precisely pressing that button for a purpose. Knowing that, alright, I'm just pushing this button, and then now you miss the timing for another one, because you mashing will put another button, put that button in priority, and the button that you want to push becomes so less of a priority, it becomes a negative, and now that button is not going to come out when you want it to, and now you're going to get hit and punished for it. And so learn to control your buttons, your movements, your dodges, your parries, your EXs, knowing when you can get it. You know, sometimes you have to take that risk, you know, and it is risk versus reward. Can I use this and get out of this situation and put the, you know, the flow back in, you know, the fight back in my hands? Or is this like something I'm throwing out and, you know, I have nothing else left and I don't know what else to do? You know, if you're having those moments, this is a moment to reflect, and hopefully this video is something that will actually give you that perspective of what this game will do to you and offer to you and offer for you, as you continue to learn and grow in your own skills. So take this, this whole thing, this experience, with a grain of salt. Because really, if it's applicable to you, it's applicable. If it's not, then, you know, throw it over your shoulder. But if it does truly speak to you and there's something that you are having issues with, refer, you know, and learn. Practice. Don't be afraid to throw in hours. And just because, and I will say this to all, even if you're a veteran player, even if you have beat this game and you've done everything there is to do, continue to play, because there's things to know about this game and combos and, you know, setups to know that you may newly discover and be like, wow, I didn't know I can do that. That's sick. What if I put this with this team, and you start coming up with new things? So the new content comes out, you have more to throw in, or even climbing up higher in a battle tower, because it's an infinite thing. You keep climbing higher and it just gets harder, you know. Whatever it may be applicable to, keep practicing and get better, so that way it would be easier. Matter of fact, do your Lost Voids. Lost Voids will challenge you. if you think you're that good, start raising up the ether activity and start getting challenged, like really getting challenged, and learning how you can beat different ether activity, ether activity 15 with noob teams, with a full-on A-rank team. Learn so you can get better. This game will continue to grow and evolve, and you never know what's going to come into it that's going to really test you. So push yourself as much as they're pushing themselves. Let me see. Very, very freaking helpful. I'm glad, Miles. I'm so glad it was helpful for you. I was playing while I was watching this and passed a challenge I was stuck on. Awesome, awesome. Freaking yes, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Smash this game. Don't let this game mash you out. So, I think I kind of got as much as I possibly could in there. Let that in there. Wow, that's so funny. I'm gonna get this little display thing a little bit too. But if there's any questions, concerns, or just comments or anything that you guys want to leave, definitely leave it in the comments below. And if this starts to become something that's like worth your time and you're growing from, subscribe. I appreciate doing this. I really love doing this. Like it's something to offer the community, because it's pieces of the community that has offered this to me on a side without videos and just one-on-one time. So this is what I want to share with you guys for it to be here. So this will always be here for you guys to be able to refer back to and grow and elevate your game. Other than that, guys, I thank you for your time. Thank you for showing up. This has been a really fun day for me. Fun 3 hours. And I will see you guys in the next class. Study up. It's on you. See you in the next one.